Hey everybody, this is Retro Challenge Gamer, and we are back for the final stage of Mega Man Rock and Roll. We are going to end this fan game now. So this level is more or less basically a final boss level, as most Mega Man games go. There's not too much to the level itself. There's a few things that can trip you up, like this, and these platforms, which didn't seem to have a introduction at any point in the game up until now. So, surprise, little Mega Man Shadow Man 3, Mega Man 3 Shadow Man level obstacles. And yeah, I actually went online and looked, because at this point I realized my challenge is more or less done. And I wanted to get as many advantages as I could, so I looked at the final boss, how you beat it, and they gave that secret that I just showed you there with an E-Tank, which I definitely will need in this battle. Okay, so don't get me wrong. This battle, these three stages of Dr. Wily's machine, are quite ingenious in design and theory. They're really great. It uses the switch tactic of Mega Man Rock and Roll, where you go back and forth, switching between them to basically bring down Wily. So the way and how it's designed and every aspect of the boss's design is some sort of source for an attack. It's brilliant. It's genius. I will give the game that. The final boss is definitely something worth to see, or at least play at least once. Now, the worst part about this boss has got to be the conveyor cogwheels, the ones that you're having to manage to shoot those little red lights underneath the skull. That is where the majority of my problems lay, and it wasn't until like 5, 6 something attempts in where I started getting somewhat decent at the overall thing. And as you saw, I just made a mistake. So basically I reset the pattern by switching to Mega Man briefly and then back. You can do that if you make a mistake with no penalty, and then you can basically... dang it. I was doing so good. But you can reset the current phase of the battle in case, you know, the mistake that you made is kind of throwing you off balance. And trust me, mistakes in this battle do throw me off balance to the point where I just start making more mistakes, and more mistakes lead to more ones, and then I die. And then I curse, and then I just, like, want to quit the game and just play something else. So this is an extremely hard battle. Even with their weaknesses, it's not exactly the easiest, as I've seen. I've not tried it with the weakness yet, but I can see that this is going to be tough. But I wanted to at least attempt the final 3 bosses as Buster only. But as you can see, this is just the first phase, and honestly, it's the easiest of the 3. I think the final phase with the Wily Capsule, surprise, surprise, another Wily Capsule battle, is actually the easiest of the 3, followed by this phase. And then the second phase, the one that's about to come up here, has got to be the worst. This second phase is the one that gave me the most trouble, until I started figuring out the pattern and what exactly to do. And that's not exactly what you should do. Okay, you want to lead those shots, the blue shots, to as high up on the side of the screen as possible, because they go directly to where your current position is, and then split into 2 bullets. That was not exactly the best. And then they each, of course, go to your current position once after they split. And then he just swaps back and forth, putting up a barrier so you aren't able to fire upon him. Oh gosh, Mega Man, come on now. That double jump ability is just not working for Mega Man because you just don't got it, and it's easier to manipulate the shots with that double jump that Roll has. Okay, we almost got him, everybody. No, 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 no. Whew, okay. And I did it without an energy tank for the first time. Oh, things are looking a little better now for this boss battle right here. Okay. So in terms of capsule battles, as they go, this is actually remarkably simple. That's probably his easiest attack. He actually has a pattern of the sort. He does this blue thing, which is reminiscent of Mega Man 7, and then this purple. And then he does that, which I'm not working. I'm not doing this really good. I say this is the easiest battle of the three, but here we go. I'm just failing at it. Okay, that one's easy. Once you know, you just need to slide through. Try and get at least 3 hits per pass if you can. Okay, there's the blue things. It's harder for Mega Man to dodge those blue things than it is Roll. Roll can double jump and get some more maneuverability that way. Yeah, that was a hard configuration of purple bullets. I say bullets, but you know what I mean. Energy balls. I don't know what to call them. Okay, he's going to do the purple again, and then I think the blue, because of course Mega Man has a hard time dodging him, so of course he would do it with Mega Man. Okay, we almost got him on the run, guys. Woo! Mega Man Rock and Roll is done. Gosh dang, this fan game. Let me tell you. This has been probably one of the hardest Mega Man fan games I have played. And I've done a lot of introspection and a lot of research on previous Mega Man games. I am going to even pull footage from the previous playthroughs I've done on the other Mega Man games to kind of prove a point here. I think I know why I'm having a little bit of an aversion to this fan game compared to the previous ones I've played. Rock and Roll stopped Dr. Wily's evil plans. Dr. Light repaired all the kidnapped robots and fixed their programming. Dr. Wily, however, managed to escape. Because of course he did. She's flying on Missile Man. Aw, she watering the plant. Oh. Sorry, Beat. So Dennis Engelhard is the one responsible for all this. And hey, Airhammer, I remember him. What you got there, Dive Man? You got Splash Woman. Oh, watch out, Plant Man. I don't think they're gonna let you go that easy. Two unlikely friends. Would you look at that? Nope, nope. That hat's not gonna work on his head. Oh, Reactor Man, what's going on here? Your hacking problem has been fixed. Hey, Mr. Weird Guy. Yes, Super Fighting Robot. Super awesome Mega Man fan game. One of my favorites, actually. Oh, who's gonna get... I was about to say who's gonna get the E-Tank, but never mind. It was just a fake one, and Drake Man knew it. Oh my gosh, Nightman is singing. What does this world come to? Ah! He's got to get the... Oh, no! Oh! She did that on purpose. Okay, those were fun. Those were fun little vignettes with all the Robot Masters, to include the ones we've saved. Oh, Dr. Light looks so happy to see them. Awesome. Alright, well that was actually a pretty good ending, all things considered. A little short. I mean, there's not a lot of credits when it comes to Mega Man fan games. Usually like 1 or 2 people and some testers. Dear Dad, when I was 10 years old, you bought us a video game about a little blue robot. You played it together with me like crazy. You busted Quickman for me when I ran out of Time Stopper. Some of my best childhood memories are from playing these old games with you. Thank you for everything, old man. I miss you so darn much. Aww. Sudden feels at the end. Oh, dang. He lived a pretty good life, I hope. Alright, so that was Mega Man Rock and Roll, and I gotta gather my thoughts, write it out in paper form, and kind of just collect and gather what exactly are my critiques on this particular game, and of course, analyzing the challenge itself. So, see you in a couple minutes after the outtakes, everybody. So, this final battle, the worst part is probably the second phase, but this one was hard too, trying to figure out how to properly move on these little cog wheels long enough so I can shoot at those glowing light bulbs there underneath. that was probably the one thing that tripped me up the most in all of my attempts trying to beat this boss. Now, most of my outtakes is from the second form, and quite alarmingly, a lot of times I just basically hit the whole capsule area up where Wily is with my body, which caused huge contact damage. So that's big mistakes there. But these blue projectile balls, those are probably one of the worst things and the cause of a lot of mistakes on my part. And the lack of mobility of Megaman does not help. Roll has a little bit of an advantage, not much, but a little bit more of an advantage with her double jump ability, as you can see. But then those cogwheels just threw me right into my death. And then only one outtake on the capsule boss, but that was just kind of like my first try. The second try, I got it, though. I think I'll just start with my grievances with this fan game. I did some research into past fan games I've played, even rewatching old videos I had done for them too, and I can finally pinpoint exactly what is my issues with it. First and foremost, it was made on the Godot game engine. I've no idea what this engine is capable of or its limitations, but I believe all previous fan games were created on Game Maker engine, with the exception of Megaman Unlimited, which I think had its own engine specifically designed for it. So these games all had a similar play control, style, and game physics, since all were made with the same engine or were designed specifically to emulate the old style of Mega Man play control. With the Godot engine, as I was playing, I knew internally something felt off with the jumps or how it handled collisions, and it just seemed to nag at me throughout my playtime. To top it off, there is a greater sense of urgency and faster pace to the overall game. The levels themselves weren't too bad once you memorize them, but they did require a lot more finger dexterity than most fan games to get through some of their obstacles. Polar Woman stage comes to mind here. But the biggest beef is probably with the bosses. When compared to bosses of past fan games, these ones seem faster, quicker, more rapid in their responses and patterns, forcing you to adapt or fail quickly. When viewing other games' bosses, there's a sense of measured pacing where you can easily slip into their patterns and tear the bosses apart. There are types of battle rhythms we needed to have in this game if we wanted a fair and balanced robot rematcher stage in Wily Fortress. As it is, doing all 8 Robot Masters as they are, plus any additional you failed to save in the first 8 stages, is a trial of frustration that goes beyond what these sorts of rematch stages are known for. Anyway, that's enough about the gripes. What did the game do well? Concepts and ideas. Fantastic boss concepts, fantastic ideas and uses for each stage, theme, and unique obstacles. The Wily Castle boss fights were great and varied, with the exception of the Block Devil boss. That one can go suck a peanut. The unique nature of swapping back and forth between rock and roll was inspired. All in all, it was a great treat to see a proper fan game play homage to roll and have her utilized right. However, the detractors mentioned prior do tend to bring the experience down for me and puts this game towards the bottom of my favorite Mega Man fan games to play. This is just my opinion. You're free to agree or disagree. It's just that I don't really need this type of stress on my wrists and fingers. I'm not getting any younger, you know. So as for the challenge rating, y'all know what it's going to be. A 10 out of 10 E-Tanks. It's been a long time since I've given a game this type of rating. How could I give it anything less? The stages were hard, lengthy, and challenging, but all those could be overcome with practice, as you saw in my runs. Those alone would have given it maybe a 4 out of 10, maybe 5, but what shoots this straight to a 10 is the 4th Wily Fortress with that long level with odd gravity, followed by the Block Devil as a boss. Mix that with the robot rematch following with the sorts of bosses this game has? You can just forget it. My challenge was over before it even started in that case. But I got pretty far regardless. Of the Robot Masters, each one had their own fair share of problems, and they could trip you up insanely well if you weren't fast on your reactions, or had worse wrists like I do. But special shout out to the 2 worst bosses, Polar Woman, followed closely by Dune Woman. Ghost Woman is a really good runner-up as well. These 3 alone made me dread the rematches, even with weaknesses. Still, I finally got around to playing this fan game at long last, Will it be something I come back to in the near future to play again? Probably not. I'll probably play it normally next time and utilize all weaknesses and exploits I can to beat it if I ever feel the urge to play it again, but if I'm being honest, I'd probably just boot up Super Fighting Robot instead and run that game for leisure buster blasting fun. With that, I'm done with this series. I hope you enjoyed it despite my ineptitude at the game, and I'll see you next time, and stay retro.